Here comes a duck, top of the board, pure skill, not love. Knows every ridge, every rock, every line. While you're still loading, he's taking your spine. Map knowledge deep like an ancient scroll. Reads the terrain like it's part of his soul.
Hello, it's the Randy Duck and welcome back for another video. And today I've got 3 replays to show you in the Tier 8 American Premium Medium Tank, the T25 Pilot Number 1. And that is because this tank is now available to earn on contract, so you can earn this tank for free by accepting the contract in your challenges store. So I've got 3 replays to show you in the tank today. One is a Tier 8 replay, one is a Tier 9 replay, and one is a Tier 10 replay. So you've got a balance to see the tank across all the tiers. If you want to see the crew and equipment setup I'm choosing to run in this tank, you can see that now at the bottom of the screen as I speak. But for the first Tier 8 replay, we are here on Steps Standard Battle, where there is 2 enemy Fun Police, 2 enemy artilleries, and 1 enemy light tank. Now, this tank, you got what, 240 alpha, so it is quite low on the alpha for today's standard, but I actually really enjoy this tank. It's got fantastic DPM, and one of the nice things about the tank is it's got very good mobility. You've got a top speed of 55 kilometers an hour, but you can actually move. It's just the way the tank moves I really enjoy, as well as the fact that it's a 10 degree of gun depression medium tank. Now, as you see initially here on Steps here, we are pretty lonesome here. We have 1 poor Tier 6 come with us. Everyone else has kind of followed the traditional sheep pattern and followed the pack all down that one square on the 1, 2, 3 line, kind of giving up map control this side to the enemy tanks if they choose to take it. Now, there is at least two tanks, Tier 8 tanks chasing me. I know I sense there's more coming as well, and as much as I don't want to leave my poor little medium tank there by itself, I don't really have much choice if I want to try and stay alive in this game. So I got a decent early punish there, picking up 1,000 damage and a kill, but as you can see now, I made the right choice of moving back because I don't want to get surrounded by tanks and have to risk getting shot by 2 artillery. It's not going to be great. Now, my poor little Tier 6 medium tank put a brave effort there, but it has got taken out. Like I say, I feel bad I couldn't support him, but really my team didn't come with me, so I'm going to have to move back. Now, these little piggies in front of me, they need to be looking at the map and get the hell out of there because they are going to be the first to go. But I'm going to pull back now to get myself into a position to try and cover the tanks, which I suspect is coming from the base. Really, considering it's only me defending the base right now, the rest of my tanks are still fighting down the 1, 2 line. So I'm going to wait and hopefully take these tanks out as they cross. So we put ourselves in a good position, and now we've caught out this enemy medium tank. He does get slapped by one of our friendly TDs at a sort of D2 position, I believe, or the artillery, I'm not quite sure. And we actually made quick work of him picking up a kill. And now we're going to focus the second light tank which has come. But there's actually a third medium tank as well. It is a Tier 6, so we are able to put the damage in. And we want to kill these tanks as fast as we can because we are still losing this game right now. Yeah, we're 2 tanks down, but the hit points are still pretty close, and I should be able to kill these tanks in front of me fairly comfortably. Waiting to get a connection shot on the 1 shot, but I don't quite have it, so I'll put a shot into the T21 instead, picking up my 3rd kill of the game, and we may be able to pick up our 4th quick kill of the game in quick concession there, and we do, and we put ourselves up to sort of just shy of 2,000 damage with 4 kills. But we've now got another tank we should move back to the base, so I think I did the right call pulling back here to sort of defend the base. It's a Scorpion G. It is a very dangerous tank destroyer. He can take a lot of our hit points away in 1 shot. I'm just trying to rock back and forwards and just hope he doesn't hit me, but ultimately, every time he's staying out in the open aiming at me, I'm putting those shots in and putting in the work there. So he does get put on the 1 shot. Can I pick up the kill on the Scorpion G? Yes, I can. Now that puts me on to what, 5 kills with 2,600 damage. There's 7 tanks remaining, and I'm guessing the most of the tanks are sort of down towards the 1, 2 line. Our team still hasn't managed to break through there. Hopefully we can get over there as quick as we can to get some more damage out of this game. As you can see, as I make my advance, I'm checking an eye on the enemy hit points here, looking what tanks can I kill next. I'm on 5 kills already. Is there any easy kills for me to get to Top Gun? I can see a one shot here. I'm going to try and focus across, but then I spotted 2 1-shots on one tank, which is a 3 shot, and I'm full health, so I can actually afford to eat some damage in order to get across. And I'm going to do that because I want to try and get the kills. I also don't want to stay and let artillery shoot me. So I do eat 1 shot coming in there. That's not too bad, to be honest with you. Now I can afford to just trade with these tanks in order to kill them. So I push forward, I eat a shot, that's okay. I pick up the 6th kill. I should be able to pick up my 7th kill here. We eat another shot, that's okay again, and we pick up our 7th kill there. You know, it's good just to trade your hit points at the end if you've got them, just to pick up those kills. And that puts it into what, a 5 versus 3. We're on 7 kills. I guess there is a possibility to pick up the pulls, although it seems unlikely because all our team is going to be chasing down these tanks now. But I see a tank which is a potential 1 shot to us for our 8th kill. Unfortunately, we do not roll high enough, which is a shame. Maybe we can still get the kill and pick up our 8th kill. There is the enemy artillery, don't quite have a shot. Looking for the cupola snipe here. We do manage to land it, and I'm thinking, come on please, can I get the pulls medal? Like, it's more hope than anything right now, but we've got to go for it. We've got the 8 kills here, there's 2 tanks remaining. So moving into piggy number 1 here. Now here I could wait and gamble for my tanks to shoot him, and then I could try and pick up the kill. And looking at it, probably should have done that, and then I would have got the 9th kill. But it is what it is. It doesn't really matter. We do get a little bit of damage in anyway. So the pulls is out of the question, but can we pick up the 9th kill on the last piggy remaining? He is pretty low on the hit points. He's already must have taken some damage, I suspect. But we're going to come over this ridge, and you can see we do land our shot. We're going for the ram kill here, and he just gets denied by our friendly medium tank. But I just shared that game. Good game still. 3,500 damage, 8 kills. But more importantly, you can see the importance of retreating in the right situation there to defend the base and not continue to push when you know you are by yourself. And because it's a medium tank with good mobility, you have the ability to push aggressively and get back if you time it correctly. But that's the end of replay number 1, but we have 2 more replays to come, so let's move on to the second replay, which is the Tier 9 matchmaking. Okay, so here we are for replay number 2. This time it is Tier 9 matchmaking, and we are on Hala Pass Standard Battle, where we have 1 enemy Fun Police to contend with and 3 enemy light tanks. So it's never great when you've got lots of multiple light tanks, just because of the way they play. They can be quite aggressive and annoying at times. But initially on this map, I've got which I'd like to say is my preferred spawn on this map. I'm going to try and take the position in the middle of the map at sort of the G6 location, roughly where our light tank is now been spotted heading towards, because it's a good position to get shots at enemy tanks in multiple angles. But as you can see, the 3 enemy light tanks have already played very, very aggressively. We get an attempt to get a snapshot in and a move there. We do have the mobility to get to his position quickly, because the quicker we get there, the less likely we are to take damage getting into position. And my immediate attention was on that light tank, which can snipe us from the back. But this top tier, Tier 8 light tank has gone full sending in. Now, I want to get a shot into this 1-shot light tank here before we turn to just clips us while we're fighting. So we make sure we get the kill there. But I don't even need to turn around and kill the whole 30, because it gets shut down anyway by our friendly Becky Lynch. And now we are on, what, 14 versus 13. But we've taken a position, and 2 of the enemy light tanks have already been removed from the game. So that is going to make our life easier. And it's going to also get rid of some of the vision from the enemy team. The 3rd and last enemy light tank has been spotted here, and as you can see from this position, we can get good cross shots if enemy tanks try and push the hill directly in front of us. But one thing I like to do when I've got nothing to shoot at, I do get rid of some of the destructible cover in front of me, because it kind of blocks my line of sight. But as you can see, I've got these perfect wrecks here, which is going to give me a little bit of hard cover and make it awkward for the enemy tanks to shoot me, especially when they're looking through the fire. Top tier heavy tank is made an aggressive push here. Now I can have the farm on this tank, but obviously he is looking to shoot me, but thankfully for me, with these 2 wrecks in front of me, I can use them to hide behind, which improves my chances of the enemy tank missing and one of the shells going into the tanks in front of us. And like I say, with the smoke as well, it makes it awkward for the enemy tank shooting at me. So I pick up another juicy shot in. I'm going to try and kill this tank. He hits a wreck again. I want to get rid of the tank. I don't want to eat, higher alpha shots if I can help it. And we are able to take out a top tier heavy tank, picking up our second kill, bringing us closer to 2,000 damage with 600 thereabouts assistance damage. Struggling with the gun depression a little bit on that rock. I want to be careful because I don't want to overextend too much. I know there's a lot of guns down there looking that way, and that's a sure quick way to lose a lot of hit points if you sort of overextend. But enemy IS-3 is coming over. Now I should have delayed a second for that shot because he would have came lower down. Probably could have put a shot into the drive wheel. I do put a shot into the drive wheel this time, but he repairs it and uses repair kit. I now am getting shot by a tank on the hill. It was that enemy light tank, I believe, from earlier. Unfortunately, my teammate with me he's trying to get out of the way, but he's kind of ramming me and it's causing me to have nowhere safe to be. So it's a little bit awkward because I sense that the enemy tanks who are behind me are going to start to push soon, and I've now lost quite a lot of hit points. So it was a Barras actually who put the 2 shots into me, but he has now driven off a cliff, so I don't have to worry about Mr. Barras anymore. Now I'm looking at this situation I'm in, and I'm thinking again, I'd like to try and stay and help my heavy tank, but looking at my hit points and looking at the tanks which are pushing me, it's not going to work. I'm not going to be able to kill all of those tanks. So it's another case of I need to do a tactical retreat if I'm going to try and win this game, because it is still very close. It's 10 versus 9. We do have the tank advantage and the hit point advantage, but a lot of our tanks have been in our base most of the game. So I'm trying to retreat. I'm hoping to get over this ridge quickly so I don't eat damage on these tanks which are pushing over. Unfortunately, like I say, my heavy tank is probably going to get taken out there. And not much I can do. I could have stayed and fought, but I wasn't going to win that fight. So I stopped to get some damage in these tanks which are over poking now. Unfortunately, I ricocheted my first shell, but I do put a nice juicy one into that IS-3. But I get detected for that, and I'm trying to move so I don't eat any more damage. I'm on 2,000 damage, but there's still a lot of damage available to me. And I need to make sure I don't throw my tank, because these games, you're looking at this stage thinking, we're winning, this is good. But if you do something silly and you throw your tank away, suddenly you're not going to win, especially with sort of the matchmaking how it is now, with kind of what I like to call the skill-based matchmaking. You do need to make sure you keep your tank in the game at all times if I'm going to want to try and secure the win. Now, one of our friendly heavy tanks has been taken out, and you can see tanks are pushing towards our base. This is where the majority of the enemy force is left. There's 6 tanks remaining. We kind of need our tanks to come back to the base and help deal with these tanks. I'm going to be very, very patient. I'm on 700 hit points. There is still some nasty tier 9 tanks there. And of course is the enemy artillery. We do put a juicy shot into that heavy tank as he crosses. I suspect there is more tanks with him, so I'm being careful, trying to lose my spot before I get a shot in. Unfortunately, I'll get detected straight away. It can't be from that enemy heavy tank. I don't think he is out spotting me. I'm pretty sure maybe there's a light tank or something like that in a bush somewhere, or something a little bit more stealthy, which I can't quite detect here, because every time I poke I am getting spotted. I'm just being as patient as I possibly can at this stage. Like I say, keeping my tank in the game, trying to get some damage where it's presentable. I just feel like this game is definitely not won yet, although we do have the advantage. So I'm going to try and finish off this one-shot enemy IS-3 here. Thankfully my shot goes true, and the other heavy tank I was fighting is now pushing around on towards us. I do have support from a friendly heavy tank here, but I'm going to wait for this tank to come to me. I want him to push around the corner so I can try and get a shot through his drive wheel and track him in place. We do that, we actually damage his engine here, and he gets stuck, which delays us and allows us to reload. But as you can see, there's an auto-loader light tank coming around. This is important, just your map awareness. I turned around quick enough to get the shot in and ram him, and now I can turn around and finish off this heavy tank. So I get put onto 277 hit points there, but was able to confirm the kill on 2 tanks, killed the last remaining light tank, and now we're on for a Top Gun medal if we can pick up a 6th kill. There's a one-shot enemy medium tank in front of us, and there's also I think it's an enemy Jade Tiger, which I have no idea the hit points, but I suspect he is pretty low given the fact that, so that is a Jag Tiger in front of us, given the fact there's only 1% hit points remaining. So I'm moving in to try and get the kill shot. I missed the first kill shot. I'm waiting for him to dispose his lower plate. And then I bounce it and I'm thinking, oh God, well, that's it then. I'm dead. But I get lucky. I get very lucky because he ricochets his shell and I'm able to pick up the kill to confirm our 6th kill of the game and confirm our Top Gun medal. Bringing that to a total of 6 kills, 3,400 roughly damage. Getting the first cast there with about 600 assistance. So that's it for replay number 2. Let's move on then to the final replay of the video. Okay, so here we are for the final replay, which is on El Haluf Encounter Battle Tier 10 matchmaking. 1 enemy light tank to contend with. This time no enemy artillery, which is nice. But the enemy team does have 2 enemy Night Stalkers, which could be a problem because that tank, when played correctly, is a deadly foe indeed. Now, we do get 1 shot on this top tier heavy tank as he's crossing, probably leaving the action where he should probably be fighting. It'd be better for a heavy tank like that to be fighting in the brawl in the 1-2 line, but we're able to punish him leaving and we get some nice damage into these tanks. And I'm just staying patient for the time being, see if we can get any more shots in, if anything gets caught crossing towards the encounter cap circle, before we go up to the top to get into the brawl. Like I say, it is tier 10 matchmaking, there could be some nasty tanks for us to have to fight, but at least we don't have to contend with the enemy artillery. Just going for a cheeky blind fire because sometimes there is some enemy tank destroyers in that position and it's always worth a go because you might get a lucky shot. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. So as we make our way to this position, you can see the 2 enemy Night Stalkers is here. Now that is a problem for us because when played correctly, the Night Stalker is incredibly dangerous. It could clip us out with 1 clip very easily if you know how the rocket mechanics work, because yes, they have slow shell velocity, but if you're up and close and you know, like I say, know how to adjust your aim for the rockets, it's not as hard as you think to get that damage in. And I can't really pen the Night Stalker front on in this tank, to be honest, so it would be a problem for me if it pushed me. So I'm already thinking, I don't know if we're going to win this engagement, but I'm going to stay here for as long as I possibly can. Now, we have managed to get some nice early damage in this game. We actually got 1 shot into the Tortoise, I believe, as he showed his cupola. Now, this position is pretty good when you've got the gun depression because I'm limiting the shots enemy tanks have. Now, I have some... my turret armor isn't amazing. Most tanks are going to be able to butcher it, but it's a small shot for the enemy tanks. If I'm rocking backwards and forward, rather than sort of try and bounce the shots, I'm more trying to bait the shots in order to get my shots in return. This is a good position, but it is a position which wouldn't be possible to play if there's enemy artillery in the game, because they would have easy shots onto me in this position. So thankfully for me, that's not the case, so I don't have to worry about getting shot from above in this particular replay. I get a juicy shot into the Iron Rain, but I don't want to sail around because if he puts a shot into me, he won't struggle to pen my turret, and it's it wouldn't be ideal. Night Stalker's now pushing in. Now this is my cue. I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to leave here. They're pushing my poor heavy tank in the middle of the map. I'm trying to get as many shots into covering, but ultimately it's going to be another replay where I have to make the educated decision to make the tactical retreat, because as much as I'd like to get the shots in, honestly, what am I actually going to do if a Night Stalker decides to caress that ridge with his 10 degrees of gun depression? I'm going to bounce the shots and he could probably kill me in about sort of 4 seconds, pretty much flat from full health. So yeah, not exactly a tank I want to sit around and fight. It is an overpowered tank. It's definitely an overpowered tank. Sometimes you'll get someone that won't do damage because they'll be sort of sniping from a distance, but when they're up in your face like this, even sort of even more than an average casual player, you can still do very well in that Night Stalker, and he could easily kill me. I have to just run rather than fight it in an engagement. So I've pulled back to a position, and I am sort of sniping here, but I kind of felt it's the best thing I can do. Is I was sort of looking at the position of my tanks, and I'm thinking, well, I can't fight in the brawl with them. I'll probably just die. maybe what I can do is keep my hit points and cover these tanks. So if they decide to push around onto my tanks in front of me, my friendly tanks, I'll try and get the shots in just like this on this enemy tortoise. One of our TDs must have landed a big shot into that tortoise there, puts him on the 1. I'm looking for the kill. Unfortunately, I bounced it. That was always an awkward angle to pen the tortoise a distance. I'm shooting APCR rounds, and I will lose penetration over distance. Even though I'm running the expert gunner perk, which makes my drop off slightly better, but we was able to get the kill shot into the tortoise there, picking up our first kill of the game. Haven't done a lot of damage so far, but we are full health, and we like to say we're playing this game respectfully. We're playing it casually at the moment, sort of not casually as such, but more careful if you like, to try and make sure we can do our best to win the game. Enemy IS-7 here, I'm not. Chance of me penning him at this is slim. If he exposes his drive wheel, I can pen hit, but unfortunately I'm fighting at a long distance and he's got lots of wrecks in front of him. Not an easy shot to make. 6 versus 8, the enemy tank do have the advantage, but the hit points are still relatively close at this point. I'm going to push around to see if I can get some easier shots on the tanks on the 2 line, see if I can cover my tanks there. Our friendly heavy tank has actually done a fantastic job, and we do have a Waffle E100 who's just come in clutch there and killed 2 tanks, which has swung this fight for our friendly team. I'm now going to come in and try and use my hit points. It looks like this IS-7 is now by himself. The 2 tanks in front of the I-7 are both one-shots to him, so he can kill both of these tanks. So I need to come in now and use my hit points for my friendly team. Unfortunately, our I-7 does kill our friendly ST2, but I'm going to come in now. I hope our E5 stays with us, because I'm happy to eat the shots off of this I-7 and use my hit points. I put a shot into the I-7 there. Now I've got the kill on this tank. He can't kill me if I pen all my shots. I'm just trying to avoid eating another one if I can. So I'll try and circle around him, but hopefully get the kill in before he gets his gun on top of me. I just managed to do that, and I pick up my second kill. And that's a pretty decent trade. Yes, I'll end up losing half my hit points killing the IS-7 because, like I say, it's a tier 10 tank, but that's good. I wanted to kill that tank quickly, and more importantly, I wanted to keep my friendly E5 in the game. He's done a good job battling there, and we're going to need him for later on in the fight. So 2 of the 5 enemy tanks have now been given their position away. They're in the cap circle trying to cap out. Just spotted the F3005 there. He wasn't looking. I put a shot into him. That's a tank I'm obviously scared of. He can easily kill me in one shot, and I'm spotted now, but I'm trying to use this ridge to stop the enemy tanks in the cap circle shooting me, because I pretty much know they're going to be on this side. They have to be, otherwise they'll be getting spotted by our friendly tank destroyer who's moving up to the cap circle. Looks like that F3005 has moved on. I'm going to try and get shots, or try and light the cap basically, because it's getting dangerously close for us to getting reset. But our friendly tank gets into the cap circle, contests it, and now we're able to shoot these tanks in while they're distracted and while they're running. I'm not really too concerned with the tanks in front of me, because I've got a good position to get the farm in them. The only thing I am concerned about is that F3005 coming back over this ridge and getting a shot into me and taking me out of this game. Don't want that to happen because it's very close. So I moved back around to this side of the ridge to try and give myself a bit of protection from that happening. But now I'm going to move in and take this opportunity to shut down this enemy medium tank, while Waffle E100, importantly came in clutch of those kills earlier, is on reload. So I pick up my 3rd kill of the game, put this at 2,600 damage. Only 2 tanks remaining now. The F3005, who was pretty healthy in this enemy tier 8 serve. We get very fortunate by setting them on fire there, picking up our 4th kill, and it basically meant we was going to kill the tank anyway, but it meant we didn't have to eat the shot off of the stirve, which is nice. So we've kept our hit points, albeit doesn't make a lot of difference against F3005. I might as well have been on 1 hit points, because he could easily pen us with his AP rounds, no trouble whatsoever, or his HESH rounds. So I'm just trying to chase this tank down. 4 versus 1, we've got a good chance for the win. Like I say, I am a one-shot to this tank, but also if I want the damage, right, I've got to try and find him. I've got to try and kill him. I'm not about to cap life in this situation. I'm going for it. Now, I get very fortunate because he's AFK, which is kind of a bit of a shame for me, because I could have got around the rear of him anyway there, made it difficult for him to get his shot in. And And I rather would have fought the tank at the end, because, well, it would have made the battle, the video a bit more exciting. But as it stands, I've got a free farm on an F3005. But you're not going to complain too much, are you? Right? I mean, what can you really do? We are picking the shots in. Hopefully we can pick up this kill for our 5th kill. Probably give us a medal for killing the higher tier tanks as well when we are bottom tier. So we pick up, what, 4,000 damage, 5 kills, and that brings us an end to the video there. So I hope you enjoyed it. But yeah, so thanks so much for your support, and as always, happy tanking.
Enemies panic when they hear that quack. Grand ups here, there's no turning back.